Hello everyone, I welcome you all in the next session, strain energy. This is the content of the slide, strain energy. What is strain energy? Strain energy due to gradual loading. Third, strain energy due to sudden loading. Strain energy due to impact loading, and one numerical related to the strain energy. We will discuss this topic today. Now, what is a strain energy? Firstly, we will discuss what is a strain energy. When the load is applied to the body may deform due to the application of a load. So, there are different types of a load which is applicable to the members or the workpiece. Then, what are those different kinds of a load? Gradually applied load, suddenly applied load, impact load. When the body is subjected to this kind of a load, gradually increasing load, suddenly or a impact load, the body deforms from its original shape, size and shape, and the work is done upon the body. If the elastic limit is not exceeded, when the load is applied on the body within the elastic limit, then this work is stored into the body, then that work stored into that body within the elastic limit, that is called as a strain energy. Now, this strain energy is stored into the body during deformation process, and this strain energy is called as a strain, and this energy is called as a strain energy. So we can also call it as a strain energy is equal to the work done. Now, what is a resilience? Resilience is total strain energy stored into the body is called as a resilience. Area under the curve within the elastic limit is also called as a resilience. That is the another definition of a resilience. So this resilience is denoted by U. Now this resilience is equal to sigma square into V divided by 2E. Now what is sigma? Sigma is a stress applied on the body, induced into the body, and E is the modulus of elasticity and V is the volume of the body. Now what is the proof resilience? Proof resilience is maximum strain energy which can be stored into the body is called as a proof resilience. At the maximum or the ultimate point of elastic limit of stress strain curve, at that point the strain energy is stored into the body is called as a proof resilience. This proof resilience is denoted by U suffix P. Now this U suffix P is equal to the sigma suffix E square upon 2E into the volume. Sigma E is the stress at a elastic limit, and E is the modulus of elasticity, and C is the volume of that material. Now, what is a modulus of resilience? Modulus of resilience is defined as it is the ratio of a maximum strain energy which can be stored into the body per unit volume at elastic limit is called as a modulus of resilience. So, modulus of resilience is denoted by U suffix M. This U suffix M is equal to the U divided by V. Now what is U? U is equal to sigma E square upon 2E into the volume divided by V. Volume will get cancelled and we will get the final term as a modulus of resilience. U suffix M is equal to sigma E square upon 2E. Sigma E is the stress at resilience up to the elastic point and E is the modulus of elasticity. Now we are taking example for the strain energy when the load is applied gradually. We have taken one example which is mentioned in this slide here, right hand side. We have taken one bar. Now this bar is free at one end and fixed at other end. At the free end we are applying load which is denoted by capital P, which is a gradually applied load. Now we are considering this bar when the gradually applied load, when the load is applied gradually to this bar, then the bar may get deformed from its original shape, and its deformation is denoted by delta L, denoted by red color dotted line here, and capital L is the initial length of the bar. Then A is the cross-section area of the bar, and sigma is the axial stresses induced into the bar. It may be a tensile or a compressive stresses into the bar. depending upon the type of a load which is applied to the bar. It may be a tensile load. Due to the tensile load, deformation may observe into the bar, or due to the compressive load, we can also observe deformation into the bar, which is a delta L. And E is the modulus of elasticity. When the load is applied to this bar, we are applying gradually increasing load. Load is increasing at some amount, so that is called as P, denoted by P, and deformation is observed. Then we will observe two different curves when the load is applied gradually to the member: load versus deformation and resistance versus deformation. Load versus deformation. When the load is gradually increasing from 0 to certain value, we will get the deformation, which is denoted by delta L, which is represented in first figure. And in case of your second figure, resistance represents when the load is applied to the body, then the body will try to resist the deformation delta L, which is denoted by R. So when gradually increasing load is applied, then the resistance increases. As the resistance increases gradually, then the deformation also increases gradually. So we will get the curve, area under the curve, which is represented by hash lines, which is a triangle for load deformation diagram also and resistance deformation diagram also. Now we have to calculate work done on the bar. So work done on the bar is equal to the area of the load for the first figure, which is a deformation diagram, which is represented here, deformation diagram. So area under the curve, area under this curve. So we will represent it as a triangle. So its work done on the bar is equal to half into P into delta L. So this is the work done on the bar. Now next term, work stored into the bar for deformation diagram, which is equal to the area of the resistance for the second figure. So we have to calculate this work stored into the bar using this resistance deformation diagram. Again, curve which we have obtained from the figure is, it is also the triangular in shape. So its formula is equal to half into the resistance into the delta L. Why resistance? Because on the y-axis it is a resistance and x-axis it is a deformation delta L. So this R, we can replace this R as a sigma into A, because we know the stress is equal to internal resistance set up per unit cross section area. So sigma is equal to R divided by A. So we will rewrite this equation in terms of a R. So R is equal to sigma into A. So put this value of a sigma into A into this equation, we will get half into sigma into A into delta L. Now we have to calculate maximum stress value for gradually applied load. So it is possible to equate these two terms. Equation number 1, here equation number 1 and equation number 2. We will equate these two terms. Work done is equal to the work stored into the body. So what is the work done? Half into P into delta L is equal to half into sigma into A into delta L. So final term we will get P is equal to sigma into the area. So we can write this term as a stress is equal to load applied per unit cross section area, which is denoted by the final formula sigma stress is equal to the P load divided by cross section area A. That is the maximum stress which is applied when the gradually increasing load is applied to the member. This is the first case. Now we have to calculate the strain energy formula. Then how to calculate the strain energy formula? This strain energy is equal to, according to the definition, strain energy is equal to the work done or work stored into the body. So that work stored into the body is denoted by half into the R into the delta L. So we will again replace this R as the sigma into the area, which is also mentioned here. R is equal to sigma into the area, and as we know, epsilon is equal to the strain. Strain is equal to delta L, change in length to the original length, and this formula represents modulus of elasticity. Modulus of elasticity is the ratio of a stress to the strain. Okay, now after putting the value of a sigma into the area into this formula. Again we have to replace this delta L term by epsilon into the L by using this term or by using this formula. So delta L is replaced by epsilon into the length. What is epsilon according to this modulus of elasticity formula? Epsilon is equal to stress per unit stress divided by modulus of elasticity. After rewriting this equation, we will get the final term as a strain energy is equal to sigma square upon 2E into area into the length. We can also write this area into the length as a volume. So final term small u, which is equal to the strain energy, is equal to sigma square upon 2E into the volume. This is the final formula for strain energy due to the gradually applied load to the member. Now we will see the next type of a load, suddenly applied load to the member. After application of a sudden load, you can identify, we will get the two different graphs. First graph which represents load deformation diagram, and second graph again represents resistance deformation diagram. When the load is suddenly applied, we can identify this load increases from 0 to directly on the y-axis, which is represented by P, and on the x-axis we will get the deformation. So this is the area under the curve for load deformation diagram, and resistance deformation diagram represents when the load is applied suddenly. We will get the rise in this value resistance, which is represented by R on y-axis and delta L on x-axis. When the load is applied suddenly, the value of a load P is throughout the deformation, but the resistance R increases from O to R. We can identify from the second figure, resistance increases from O to R, which is inclined in nature. Then what is the work done on the bar? Work done on the bar is calculated by using load deformation diagram. Now we got here a rectangle. So P into the delta L is the work done on the bar. Now we have to calculate the work stored into the bar. Work stored into the bar, which is equal to the area under the curve for resistance deformation diagram, which is represented in second figure here. So area under the curve for triangular is represented by half into the R into the delta L. Again we have to replace this R as a sigma into the A according to the previous equation. Now we have to calculate the maximum stress which is stored into the body after application of a suddenly applied load. So work done is equal to the work stored into the body. So what is the work done? So we are equating these two equations again. Equation number 1 here and equation number 2 here. Work done is the equation number 1 and work stored is the equation number 2. What is the work done? Work done is equal to P into the delta L. P into the delta L is equal to the work stored is equal to half into sigma into A into the delta L. After rewriting this equation, we will get final term as a load P is equal to half into the sigma into the area. Sigma is the stress and A is the cross-section area of the member. The final term which we got here is sigma is equal to 2P upon A. Hence the maximum stress intensity due to the suddenly applied load is twice the stress intensity produced by the load of the same magnitude applied gradually. As we have seen here, the final term sigma is equal to twice P by A. In previous equation for the gradually increasing load, we got the value sigma is equal to P by A. Here its value is twice P by A. Strain energy due to impact load. Now see this figure. In this figure again we have taken one bar with collar which is horizontal. Total length of the bar is denoted by capital L and load P is mentioned here, which is placed at certain height, which is denoted by small h. Load is kept at certain height. Load P is dropped through a height h before it commences to the load the bar. Now we can get two different figures, load deformation diagram, and second one is the resistance deformation diagram. When the load is impacted over the collar, deformation will observe, which is denoted by delta L here. So deformation of a collar we will observe due to the impact load. So we will get first figure as a load deformation diagram, which is denoted by from when the load is applied, then we will get load on the y-axis and deformation on the x-axis. So h is the height of the load, which is kept initially at the position, and delta L is the deformation which is added into the height h. Okay. Then second figure represents resistance deformation diagram, which is increasing gradually from 0 to the r, which is resistance deformation diagram. Now we have to calculate work done on the bar is equal to force into the deformation. Work done on the bar is equal to the force into the deformation. So we will get the final term as a P in bracket H plus sigma L upon E. This is the first equation. So we have replaced this delta L is equal to sigma into L upon E. Work stored into the bar is equal to the half base into the height, which we got from the second figure resistance deformation diagram. Half base is the delta L and height is the R. So which is equal to the strain energy. So what is the formula, basic formula for the strain energy? Sigma square upon 2E into the volume. So we can equate these two terms also. So work done is equal to the work stored. What is the work done? Work done is equal to the P in bracket H plus delta L, which we got from the first figure load deformation diagram. And second one, work stored is equal to the sigma square upon 2E into the volume, which we got from the second figure or a second graph, which is a resistance deformation diagram. So we have to rewrite this equation P in bracket H plus delta L is equal to sigma square upon 2E into the volume. So how to rewrite this equation? This volume will get replaced by area into the L. And open this bracket H plus sigma L upon E by multiplying P into the H and P into the sigma L upon E. So finally we'll get this term P into the H plus P into the sigma L upon E is equal to sigma square upon 2E into the area into the length of the bar. So we are multiplying this all terms by 2 into the area into the length. 2E divided by area into L. This term is multiplied to the first term, second term and third term. After multiplying twice E divided by area into the L, we will get the final term sigma square is equal to 2E into P into H divided by area into the length plus twice load into the stress divided by area. So we can also rewrite this term in this format, sigma square minus, take this term to the right hand side, sigma square minus 2P into sigma divided by A is equal to 2E PH upon AL. So again we have to add P square upon area square into these two terms on the left hand side and right hand side also to calculate the final term sigma. After adding P square upon A square into the previous equation, we will get the final term as a sigma is equal to P by A plus under root of P E H upon AL plus P square upon A square. Now here sigma is the stress, P is the load, A is the area of the bar, E is the modulus of elasticity, H is the height of the load which is kept at height H, L is the length of the bar, that is the maximum stress applied due to the impact load. When the height H is 0, then we will get the term sigma is equal to P by A plus under root of P square upon A square. Ultimately H value is 0, so first term, this term will get 0, So we will get the final term sigma is equal to P by A plus under root of P square upon A square, which is equal to the sigma is equal to 2P by A. Now we will take one example related to the strain energy. Now what is the problem statement of that strain energy? An axial pull of 50 kN is suddenly applied to a steel bar 2 meter long and 1000 mm square in cross section. If the modulus of elasticity of a steel is 200 kN per mm square, find first term maximum instantaneous stress, second maximum instantaneous extension, third strain energy, fourth modulus of resilience. So identify what is given in your problem statement. Here it is mentioned axial pull of 50 kN, which represents load which is applied to the member is P is equal to 50 kN. And it is also mentioned in the problem statement this load is applied suddenly. So sudden applied load. See, this numerical comes under type of a load is suddenly applied load. As we know, we have taken three different types of a load. First one gradually increasing load, second one is the suddenly applied load, and third one is the impact load. So from the problem statement we have to identify numerical comes under which category. So this numerical comes under the category of a suddenly applied load from problem statement. Next term, it is also mentioned here 2 meter long. Then this represents length of the bar. It is initial length of the bar is 2 meters. So convert all unit in one format. So 2 meter is equal to 2000 mm. And next term it is also mentioned 1000 mm square. 1000 mm square is the area of the component. Next value modulus of elasticity is 200 kN per mm square. So we are again converting it into the one format. So 200 into 10 raised to power 3 Newton per mm square. This is the initial data, given data which is mentioned in the problem statement. Now we have to calculate 4 terms by using this given values for suddenly applied load. So firstly we will calculate maximum instantaneous stress. So what is the formula for maximum instantaneous stress for suddenly applied load? It is also calculated in your previous derivations. Sigma is equal to 2P by A. For suddenly applied load it is a 2P by A. So 2P means 2 into the 50, because 50 into the 10 raised to power 3 suddenly applied load is already given in your problem statement. So we are placing the value of a P into this equation and area value it is 1000. So finally we will get the maximum instantaneous stress is equal to sigma is equal to 100 Newton per mm square. Second term we have to calculate maximum instantaneous extension, which is maximum instantaneous extension means delta L. We have to calculate delta L term here by using modulus of elasticity formula, which is equal to the capital E. Modulus of elasticity is denoted by capital E is equal to stress per stress to strain. Stress is denoted by sigma and strain is denoted by epsilon. So E is equal to sigma by epsilon. So epsilon is equal to, so we will rewrite this equation in terms of a strain. Strain is equal to sigma by E, because we know the value of a stress from first term. Sigma is equal to 100 Newton per mm square, and E value it is mentioned in your, or it is given in your problem statement. So 100 divided by 200 into the 10 raised to power 3, it will give you the value of a strain 5 into the 10 raised to power minus 4. We will get the strain value from this formula. After getting the value of a strain, what is the basic formula for strain or basic definition of a strain? Strain is the ratio of a change in length to the original length. We have to calculate maximum instantaneous extension. So we are using this formula to find out the maximum instantaneous extension. So epsilon is equal to delta L by L. We have to calculate this delta L term. We know the value of a epsilon and length. Delta L is equal to, rewrite this formula, delta L is equal to epsilon into the L. Epsilon value 5 into 10 raised to minus 4 into, what is the initial length of the bar? It is 2000. So maximum instantaneous extension we got here is delta L is equal to 1 mm. Next, third term. What we have to calculate here? Strain energy, which is denoted by small u. What is the basic formula for strain energy, which we have already calculated in the previous derivations? Small u is equal to sigma square upon 2e into the volume. We know the value of sigma, we know the value of E and volume also, because we can also replace this volume as a area into the length. So replace all terms by using this values. Sigma as a 100 square divided by 2 into the 200 into 10 raised to power 3 into volume as a 1000 into 2000, area into the length. So finally we will get the term as a strain energy is equal to U is equal to 50,000 Newton mm. Modulus of elasticity, last term we have to calculate, modulus of resilience, U suffix m. This is the notation for modulus of resilience. What is the basic formula for modulus of resilience? U m is equal to sigma square upon 2e. Now we know the value of a sigma and E also. Put the value of a sigma and E into the formula, which is the value of a sigma is equal to 100 square and value of E as a 200 into 10 raised to power 3. So finally we will get the value of a modulus of resilience after putting the value of a sigma and E into this formula, which is equal to the modulus of resilience U suffix m is equal to 0.025 Newton mm per mm cube or Newton per mm square. This is the final value of modulus of resilience. So we can calculate these four different values, maximum instantaneous stress, maximum instantaneous extension, strain energy and modulus of resilience for suddenly applied load. As the load changes, type of a load changes, the formula for these four different terms will changes, and you can also calculate it by using various formula for strain energy. Thank you everyone.